A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this collective reading where I'm going to be talking about this intense energy. But the goal, of course, is the intention is to help create healing with regard to this experience that some of you could be having. I would be using my tarot cards plus the auto reading and writing cards. And let's jump right into it because this is connected with the throat chakra. I'm being shown that someone over here is trying to get validation from people who are only there to judge them, people who usually create associations based on what they see in the external reality. People who are not very deep, people who are not very sure and clear. But of course, there's a reason why you are getting triggered or impacted by such an energy because the trigger is within us, that explosive matter is within us. And why are you there in the first place to even express yourself in front of such people? So, let me just share some points. These people are judging you based on what they see externally. They don't know your circumstances or the difficult situations you have faced in your life. They don't know anything that you have experienced. And some of them, I'm being shown, have been around your aura or your energy field for many years. It could be since childhood, maybe these people are there in your life. Okay. They could have just come and gone also, like maybe you were busy for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, or you were doing your own thing and then suddenly they're back in touch with you. So they have some kind of presence in your life. So they don't know what you've experienced, even in your childhood, whatever you experienced, the fears, the trauma, the confusions, because you never really shared it with anyone, okay? So I can pick on to the energy of whosoever resonates with you, the feeling of powerlessness and unable to make your voice reach to where you want it to go. There's a blockage. There's a blockage in the communication. There's a blockage in the throat chakra energy. And you feel embarrassed because of this powerlessness. Let's say you like to write something. You're a blogger. You like to write blogs. You're writing something very deep, very intelligent, but you see nobody is seeing it. You see nobody's reading it. So it gives you that bad feeling. Or you do some things and you share it with people who are very close to you, maybe with your family members, with your siblings, with your close friends, but they never say anything nice to you, especially publicly. Some of them would privately tell you, oh, it's nice, it's good, but you can sense that they do it very half heartedly. They are not there as your cheerleaders. They are not there as your support group. In fact, these people are the ones who usually look at you with doubt. They look at anything you do and they'll make that expression or they'll give out that energy. They'll project the energy where they're like, this is not right, or there's something wrong with you, or why are you like this? Do you really have to do this? Do you really have to say this kind of energy? Okay. So that's like very demotivating for you. You don't feel motivated around these people, or even if you do something, like you go out of your way, maybe you love to sing, you practice a lot and you sing in front of them, but they're not even listening to you, they don't care for you. And on the contrary, you see some people who are very average. This is not about comparison or superiority complex, but this is just to sort of understand the difference, that they're very average, they're okay, but the amount of motivation they get, or the amount of support they get, the amount of acknowledgement they get from their own people, their own family members, or siblings, or partners. You probably could have had partners who've been like total psychopaths when it came to encouraging you. Like they would literally tell you Even if you're really good with something, and even if you spend a lot of time to get it done, or you put in a lot of your effort, you did a lot of healing work to be doing something which was a bit scary for you, maybe there was a trauma hidden over there, but they would tell you outright that you're shit, because this there I can sense a lot of jealousy in such people. In some of your cases, it's very obvious that the people you dated, they didn't work out, of course. The people you dated, so it's in the past. Most of the people you dated, they're not really meant to be in your life. Okay, they were not relationships. They were not love dynamics. They were basically psychos, narcissistic people, the worst of the lot. You were you were dating, or you dated, or you got married to the worst of the lot. Or even if they were nice people in general, they, for just for you, they presented the worst energy or the worst experience for you, specifically for you. Because whether you like it or not to hear it right now, the truth is that you are a high frequency soul. You came directly from heaven, we can say. And heaven means singularity. Heaven means you came from a very pure place, of creation. You came from a place where there was no conflict. You came from that type of a dimension. A lot of twin flames are basically master souls, and they are very few in number. The genuine twin flames are very few in number. We see this sort of in the collective. Sometimes people get very irritated with the word twin flame. They even tell me, like one lady even told me that please don't use this term in front of me because it really triggers me. It really hurts me. I've gone through so much because of this whole twin flame thing that I don't even want to, talk about it. So I told her that you had bad experiences, but then this is a divine journey. So a lot of people actually feel bad because they had to date a lot of psychopaths, narcissists, very difficult people. I'm also being shown that you have attracted a lot of people with attachment issues, be it friendships or be it relationship, dating, and all. And you've been trying to fix these people. You've been trying to fix them. You've been trying to help them become better, like some kind of project, like. Like you want to help them out because it makes you feel that you are doing something worthwhile, but actually this is going to help you eventually. This is going to help you create a new path for yourself, and this is not good, but it's also good because over a period of time you have realized that you cannot fix people who cannot be fixed at all. And maybe it was the unhealed part of you, the unhealed version of you that wanted to fix people, especially who were not gonna say thank you to you or be grateful to you. They also make you feel unheard in a way. The communication is not clear, the communication is not even there. They can say whatever they want to say, and you can hear them and you can give whatever you can to them. But if you want to say something, or if you even don't just want it but you say it in many ways, they act like they cannot listen to you. So these are people who avoid communication or who avoid attachment. They Attachment is not a good thing, okay? I'm not saying attachment is a good thing, but this is just for communication sake that I'm using this word, which means they actually lack commitment and they don't want to take your responsibility. Now, some of you might think that I don't want anyone to take my responsibility. I can take my own responsibility. I am independent. I just need a companion to be with me. But then, why do you need a companion to be with you when they're not doing anything for you? and they just want you to entertain them and take care of them. In fact, love, it's if it's for love relationship, romantic connections, then a natural urge to do something for the other person. People want to do something, and it doesn't have to be artificially created. That feeling, it comes on its own. That's why men and women take care of each other, family members take care of each other. But in your condition or in your situation, I've been picking onto that energy that you've taken care of a lot of people, which is a really good thing. You're a giver, but there has to be a balance. Now, how does the balance get created? It gets created either if other people around you do the same to you, or you don't need them at all, but you have your own inner wisdom or your own inner system to create it. So, all these people that you met, the toxic people, the psychopaths, like the most difficult cases, basically, it was training for you. You were getting trained. It's a training program that you were in. And you're going to meet your person for sure, because all twin flames are supposed to meet their divine counterparts in the same life. That's for sure. But they don't come to you immediately. Sometimes they're even around in your life. They know you well, you know them well. But that whole relationship dynamic is never formed till the time you don't start living your purpose, until the time you don't align your chakras by yourself. So nobody else is going to do it for you. And all these psychos and narcs or judgmental people or people who just watch things from a distance, they just look at you being miserable, and you're drowning in water, but they're just looking at you and they're like, oh, this person is drowning. That support system, that inner system has to be created by you with the help of God. Of course, you're not going to drown. For sure, you're not going to drown. But even you need to feel that illusion of drowning in order to create your own natural system of swimming in the deep or figuring things out by yourself without anybody's help, without any external help. One more thing that I'm being shown over here is that you feel that the people who dumped you or ditched you, or people who were around you, they got someone else really fast. Like they got into a relationship really fast. While you, who's loyal, faithful, trustworthy, affectionate, caring, compassionate, you have all these great qualities, you are just left behind, and you're feeling like, what's wrong with me that I've not found someone yet, someone like the right person for me. You may have found other people, but they were all struggling with addiction patterns. Like in some cases, when twin flames go through separation or like a proper breakup, or there's a karmic situation, or their partner marries someone else, or their partner goes missing, or something like that, goes missing as in they just vanish from your life. They wait for 2 years, 3 years. So, first 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, I've noticed a lot of people, they wait. They say, yeah, yeah, I know they'll come back. But as time starts, passing by, more and more time has passed by, and they don't find anyone, like any proper person, they start thinking like, what's wrong? Neither the old one is coming back changed or healed, as how they have been saying on the internet, how people have been giving their testimonies that they found their twin flame after inner work or healing, the divine counterpart. So these people wait because they watch everybody's testimonies, or they listen to a lot of people, or they listen to channelings and downloads. These are all old souls, okay? So old souls are either twin flames, either they've come to planet Earth a lot of times, many times, or they come from a completely different galaxy, and they are like many qualities. They are star seed twin flames, or they're angelic twin flames, like the younger lot. So they're also old souls, because in the universal scheme of things, they're very old. This whole old soul uh, term can confuse people, because souls are never really old, so as to say. It's just that they have a lot of wisdom in them, or they have a lot of experience, or they've done this job multiple times, they've volunteered many times, they are selfless. So these people are basically here on this planet to heal the planet, to contribute to the planet, whatever the situation planet is in. They have said, you know what, I want to go to planet Earth and I want to do it. That's why they are being referred as old souls. So they cannot form romantic relationships that easily. Maybe at one time they did, when they were in the limbo state, when they were completely in 3D. It was very easy for them. They were hopping from one relationship to another, and there were many options, and there were many options. But as soon as they started awakening more, the Kundalini started awakening more and more, they realized that they probably have either met the most toxic narcissistic person, or they've dated some kind of psychopath, or they've dated borderline cases of split personality, bipolarity, multiple personality disorder, all of that you can think of. That's because these people, all of them, are actually catalysts, and they are here to trigger that part of you. They are here to trigger before you meet the compatible person, or even the compatible group of people, because you're not here to do everything by yourself. You are a one man army for sure, but definitely you're here to connect with your soul group, and you're here to do a lot of cool things. So you do need some wounds. You needed those wounds to get activated. Those wounds were always there. The fears were always there. So when I do therapy with very wise people, I have a lot of wise people also coming in for therapy, and they're going through a lot. Okay, they're very wise. They know a lot of stuff. If I talk to them about subjects, and if I talk to them about all these topics, most of them know it all. But they are in those situations where they need hand holding, where they need someone to help them release those negative memories, where they need someone to talk them out through it, or as I do a lot of spiritual modalities I use, they need someone to help them out, because those wounds are very much required. And some of these wounds, they really don't come to the surface that easily. Sometimes even therapy has to go on for quite some time, but we always have progress. So if the therapy, some of my therapies are even 6 months long, 4 month long, 5 month long. Why? I decided to create them in such a way because I know no other therapist is going to do it like this. No other healer is going to do it like these are tried and tested on my own self first. I'm the first person who tried it out, and I'm also like very deep and detail oriented. So I realized that this is something that every twin flame is going to go through in order to become who they are. I mean, just by an example, I can tell you this is a reality. There was a time I had no idea what I'm going to do. And every time I wanted to do something of my own or something which was naturally me, I used to face opposition all the time. Like, there's nothing I've done in life which did not come after facing opposition and all sorts of difficulties, be it emotional, mental, physical, health, or even financial. Everything was thrown towards me. And then I realized that all these people who are showing up on my timeline, these are the people, if I handle these people well, if I know what they're here to do, I would be able to do whatever I'm here to do, and that's just be. Just be yourself. Even now, I get contacted by really, really interesting people, lawyers, doctors, surgeons, chartered accountants, YouTubers, tarot card readers, healers, different types of healers, not just one category of healer. There are spirit release therapists, there are NPD healers, and some of them have really good careers also. Some of them have big numbers to show to me. And they tell me, I've been watching your video for 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, 6 years. I'm not very regular with content creation. I just do it whenever I feel like. Sometimes I do it a lot, sometimes I don't do it at all. I'm not doing it for the algorithm as well, and I'm not marketing my content. The reason why I'm not marketing my content is because I want people to connect with the intuition. Their intuition, your intuition should bring you to this. This is like a very, very, very niche content. It's only meant for high frequency people. So more people will increase or more people will resonate. I still get comments which tell me that I know it's a 4-year-old video or a 3-year-old video, but I'm resonating with it fully right now. People have written those comments to me. So these are the things I feel, sometimes had I not witnessed all sorts of people, I would not have had the guts to make this or share this. Even right now, whatever I'm saying, because you people, sometimes you think that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you are here for a divine purpose. You are here for a big mission, which I keep talking about mission, mission, mission. Simple things like I wanted to feed a dog on the street, a street dog. I want to feed a street dog. You would think that what can be a problem with that? But no, there were many problems. There were neighbors who would fight it out with me. If I would go to a park, people would abuse me or say something mean to me. If I would stand on the road when nobody should abuse me or trouble me or say anything mean to me, there also I would find somebody. I've been even attacked by a mob, like a group of 30, 40 people, maybe more than that. Literally made a plan, they plotted that this girl, whenever she comes here, we're gonna attack her and we're gonna do something so that she never comes here. And for what? Because I was feeding 2 to 3 dogs and I was feeding them like since a long time. Why would I stop feeding them? But those people's behavior or the everything else included how the administration was acting difficult or some people were acting difficult or I could not get a good legal team. I still remember at that time there was somebody in therapy with me. That person judged me so much, like, why are you doing this? Why are you fighting for the street dogs? You're this, you're that. And I was like, I have to do this. And by that time, I was already feeding 120 or 40 dogs. So I started with 1 or 2 street animals, and now we have 200 street animals. I feed them every day twice, not once, but twice. And I still remember there was a time when I wanted to rescue a little puppy. I'm telling you all of this because you guys might think that where is this coming from? There's experience talking. This is experience talking. So I wanted to rescue small puppy and I didn't have a place to take her. I didn't know a good boarding. I did not know what to do. Like I was so dependent on other people, and I still remember I made many phone calls, asking people to help me get like a 2-room house or like a small space where I can foster these injured animals, take them to these places, because this is the time when I was facing a lot of difficulty, lot of challenges. Constantly, every day was a challenge. Even if I would, even in pandemic, if I would go out to feed dogs or cats or just animals, because that time nobody was out. The first pandemic, the first one in 2020. Oh my God, you have no idea how much opposition I had to face. And this is after I had feeded, because during that time everyone was so scared. If I would step out, they would make a huge scene. But I kept doing whatever I could. I didn't stop even for a single day. I was like, I'm gonna step out, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna cook meals for them, and I'm gonna work hard. Even today, I'm working for the voiceless beings. Why? Because this is what I'm here to do. It may sound like a small thing to someone, but it's not. I mean, even for this twin flame content, when I started it, it was 2009. How many people, that time even YouTube was not very popular. How many people knew about twin flames? If I would speak about twin flames, they would think I'm nuts. What is she even talking about? And I was like, no, no, this is what it is. Intuition was not a common topic. Telepathy was not a common topic at that point in time. And I wrote a book, and I remember leaving this fancy job for this work. Today, so many people are coming to me for counseling and to seek help. But there was a time I was considered a crazy nutcase to be talking about something that nobody understood around me. Even if I would tell people that, I'm in this journey, this twin flame journey, they would say, "What is this twin flame? What the hell is this? Like, what?" That's how, and so many times I didn't even talk about what I do. Only after I think 2020, I started telling my family members that, yeah, I am doing some kind of tarot card reading, because people started coming to me. Outsiders would come to my house for tarot card readings, like especially the relatives who knew me. And they would tell my family members that, after her reading, we feel so nice. We feel so much at peace after the counseling she gave us. And then everybody was like, oh, okay, you do something like this. For a long time, everybody thought that I am actually feeding street animals out of donations, but I never created a GoFundMe, or I never asked for anybody's help. All the help came to me by my masters, and literally my great grandmaster helped me so much. And he's not even around physically, but he helped me in multiple ways. I've had so many mystical experiences. So, the reason why I'm saying this to you is because you are the one who's supposed to create this niche. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm the one who created the whole twin flame subject on internet, but there's an energy push that we give, because my book came out in 2011, and at that time, because people didn't even understand what twin flame is, I had to coin a new term which was called ultimate soulmate. Now people say divine counterpart. Back then I created this term ultimate soulmate. Finding your ultimate soulmate, the journey of meeting your ultimate soulmate. Because after you meet your ultimate soulmate, you don't want to meet anyone else. And so it was not an easy journey even to be here. And then I never thought that I'll make YouTube videos. Only when I started seeing a lot of content creators who were giving misinformation about this subject. They were claiming to be twin flame couples in union. Even people generally, single person would say, I'm in union. They had no idea about what union is, and most of them are in separation with their partners today. The ones they claim to be in union with, the ones they started their YouTube channels with, they are not there together anymore. They're not even creating content because they're so embarrassed to do so. They're so like feeling bad. They've lost that um, excitement to do it. And I was like, literally, I know I'm not gonna speak too much about it. And if you really want to know my personal story, you'll have to do it face to face, because I'm not yet ready to give it out fully this way. But I would say that even at that time, when I would watch someone's content and I would predict that they'll be separated in 1 month, 6 months, 1 year max, they'll be together, it did come out to be true. I was not cursing them or anything. It was just looking at their energy, looking at the way they were talking about twin flame subject. They had no idea what they were saying. But people were like, oh, wow, wow, wow. Where are those people today? Nobody is watching their content. And I'm not saying it's wrong if they have lesser views. Views have got nothing to do with this. The thing is that what they preach to others, they were preaching, all of them were preaching only and only physical union. Physical union doesn't last. We have Radha Krishna for that. We have Ram Sita for that. These are the cardinal twin flames. We have Shiva Parvati for that. They went into separation so many times, or they went into long term separation, but not even once they were separated. That is union. That you could be physically away from your partner because you're not here for vacation, you're not here for singing and dancing. This planet Earth is a place for your work. You're here to contribute, you're here to give something, you're here for a very limited period of time. You got a lot of things to do in your dimension, or wherever, whichever heaven you came from. You've rested a lot, you did a lot of those things, and you got like in that zone that, you know what, God, I need to do something, I need to help people out, I need to be a contributor. So please put my name on the list. I gotta go. I have to do my work, I have to contribute. So this is basically office for you, you know. And I'm not saying this is not home for you, because a lot of you literally have to first feel at home within yourself, and then you have to do your work. You're not here to do the typical things that other people are doing, because you're a healer, you're the protector, you're the savior. It may sound a bit weird, like why she's saying this, but the fact is that you're here to show people that when they're in stress, they're away from God. You have to show it to them practically. You're the one who's here to transmute all that energy, all the negativity, all the paranoia, the fear. And you have to do it. You have to do it uh, by stepping into your leadership role. And it can be anything, it can be creating a garden. You could be someone, you first create a garden and you show it to others how to create it. You could be someone who's there to grow organic vegetables. You could be here who's here to recycle. Like, I've seen videos and I've seen content of people who are doing so much for this planet. It's crazy. And some of them are very young. And I was just thinking, like, how did they do it? So, a lot of us, we didn't have the resources, we didn't have the support, we didn't have the love, we didn't have the acknowledgement. So, we cannot even compare ourselves to people who get the support right from day one. We need to look at where we started from and what we have. It's like the cave people. So somebody who wants to be a painter, and they've got the canvas, they've got the colors, they've got very supportive people, cheerleaders, and they go like, yeah, 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 go ahead, you can do it, you can paint the best picture, you can create this masterpiece, blah, blah, blah. And they do it because that's where they're starting from. You were sent to a cave, let's say, for example, you were sitting in the cave and you were like, I gotta paint. I'm gonna be one of the best painters. And I'm gonna create paintings that will show people the history of this planet. But you got no canvas, you got no brushes, you don't have the acrylic color, or you don't have the oil paints. So you did something even crazy. You created your own brushes, you created your own color that lasted millions of years, thousands of years, 10,000 years. We have these cave paintings which are 10,000 years old. What color did they use? What artistry did they use without canvas, without brushes, without the all the fancy stuff we have today, without the standees or anything? They painted whatever they found. They painted the cave walls, they painted their houses, they created stuff. Like, even today in excavations, we find all these cool things that they made from their own hands. Like, look at the knives they made out of stones. How did they do it? I'm not saying you got to go back to the cave dweller time frame, because they've done their bit, they have contributed. Now you're going to do your bit. You're here to create an earth which is much more healed. And you do it first in your universe. You learn to focus only on the positive things. So repressed insecurities has come, those need to go. These repressed insecurities and the addiction patterns, all of these things come via forgiveness. So you have to literally forgive them all. Okay? Forgive them all. Because in this world, we know a lot of people, and it's crazy. You don't have to actually be around those people, and you don't have to impress them at all. Like, you would know a lot of people who are materialistically very successful, wealth wise, or they've created something for themselves. Like, you're also here to create something, but it's not materialistic stuff, and yet you will be an abundant person. You already are. A lot of you, over a period of time, you are much more abundant. I mean, again, I'm going to give one more example. Like, when I was in the proper 3D reality, in the limbo state, I have done a lot of cool things. I did a lot of achievements. If I look at them now, they're not like that important for me. They're not like even achievements. But if I meet someone in the 3D reality, and if I try to talk to them about something and they go like, no, 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 I just have to show the old pictures and the videos, and I have to go and show them some of the things that I've done. And they go like, oh my God, you really did these things. They're very surprised. And I'm like, yeah, I did these things. And they're like, and then still you're not into it? I'm like, no, I'm not into it. So you talk about twin flames? Yeah. Star seeds? Yeah. You talk about mission work? Yeah. I do mission work. You talk about love, unconditional love? Yes, I talk about unconditional love, and I coach people on unconditional love. I don't talk to people about lust, but I can talk in detail about sexual relationships or sexuality. I've got no problem because I've learned it as a scientist. For me, it's like one of the subjects. It's not a big deal like to talk about it, because people do talk to me about these things, but they do it in a very scientific manner, and that's the crazy part. It's not, it's never sounding like something weird. And if they do that weird talk with me, I know it. I know who's doing the weird talk and I know who's not. One who wants to really get out of, maybe let's say, sex addiction, they're going to talk very differently. And one who is trying to look at me as an object and trying to fool me into it, I know who's doing that. So these are the things that come from experience, and you have to go through a period where you're isolated from not only these type of hollow romantic relationships, but also hollow relationships with people, platonic relationships. Those who are just looking at you from a distance, they know you are very talented, they know you're very skillful, they know you're a beautiful human being, and still they don't want you to get the opportunity, still they don't want you to grow, still they're going to create problems for you, still they're going to make you stop, still they're going to make you feel embarrassed. And not only that, they'll demotivate you. Some of them demotivate you despite knowing how good you are, you're a genius, and they'll demotivate you. You know why? Is they don't know what to do with you, and they've always done that. Some of them have been around you, as I said in the very beginning, for a long time, and some of them have that similar energy, the jealousy, the envy, the negativity, the difficulty. You can't even have like a proper conversation with such people without being misunderstood, or without facing that hardcore narcissism, where everything is about justification, or making you feel like you're giving them a personal attack. Sometimes the Kali energy can go really wild in you. Sometimes you can go like, you know what, I don't give a shit about you people. You can just blast them off. But if you have a good master, you have a good teacher, or you have a good healer, anybody who can help you out with this, you can handle that Kali energy. Otherwise, that Kali energy can go all over the place, and that's not good. So, how to handle, how to get discernment, all this is connected with your throat chakra and all the things that I spoke about, so that you can step into your role, so that you can create the niche that you're here to create. Even if it's a small niche, even if it's like a very small thing, it's a dot, but you're here to do it, grow it, expand it. I mean, contribute, create a safe haven. Like, let's say, for example, I don't know a lot of people here who have heard Bashar or who have heard Ibrahim Hicks. These people talk about manifestation, okay, but they give a spiritual touch to it. Especially Bashar, he keeps talking about don't get into desires, let it go, surrender. But he tries to say it in his own way. And since how many years he's doing it? The first time I saw his video, uh, the whole session actually, this was 2012 or 13, 14, I think. 2012 maybe, yeah. So he was around even at that time, but not many people knew about him. Now, Daryl Anka, who's channeling Bashar, is probably in his 70s, okay? And he's holding very personal seminars. So some of the people are getting to know about him now. Like even the solar plexus mantra that I talk about, there are people who've been doing it for 100 years now. Thousands of years people are there practicing the solar plexus mantra, the Manipur chakra mantra, the actual magical mantra, as I say, the magical mantra, the mantra that does all of the work. You don't have to actually do anything. But there are lots of people who are getting to know about it now in 2025 or 2024. But it has been around since like forever, since the beginning of time, since golden age, since Satyug, since the first time the earth starts doing its work. But we are not in that frequency. So you're here to create that window of opportunity. But thanks to all the crazy relationship dynamics, I was going to say dynamics, tongue twister. No, slip of tongue. So you've been jumping from one unavailable person to another unavailable person, or one toxic relationship to another toxic relationship, or 1 year of being by yourself of hermitage to another. Some of you are in hermitage for like 10 years, maybe 10 years, a decade. Some of you don't even care about it anymore because you've reached that space. Like you're like, I don't even care about it. But there's always a reason behind it. So, this is where I'm gonna close this collective reading, which is all about building your inner authority, building your inner voice. The reason why I don't talk about sometimes partnerships and romances or divine counterpart is because I don't want you to get distracted from the actual work. I mean, this is the bait that a lot of people offer, and they say if you do these things, you're gonna attract the divine counterpart or you're gonna attract that person. But I don't want to do that because that should not be the reason. It's like in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it says, that you do your duty, you do your thing, you play your part, and the right person or the right result or the right thing will come to you on its own. I mean, Srimad Bhagavad Gita doesn't talk about the right person. It only says you do your duty and you don't care about the results. That's the energy we're all supposed to be in. We're not supposed to do it with the hope of something. And this is the mistake that most people make. Because sometimes they come into therapy with this fancy, big fat desire, going on, and they get very hurt. I mean, they get hurt unnecessarily. Although I know that in the right divine timing, they will figure it out if they still haven't, that yes, we were doing it wrong. And that's why we are not able to do it. Because they're supposed to meet some fake people, they're supposed to meet some wrong people who are going to give them that false hope, which is not going to lead to a proper inner work. Because inner work is the best when you don't think about materialistic results. So when we say practice the solar plexus mantra, I've seen comment section, and there are some people who are asking me how long should I do it, for how many days should I do it in order to get what I want. That's the wrong approach. You should first at least start. You should do something. You're not even sitting still for 15 minutes a day. You're not even chanting for half an hour or 40 minutes a day, but you already want the result. There are people who keep asking me these questions. If I start chanting it, when will I get what I want? The ABCD. Already the list is ready. But I'm telling you that you need to do it in order to heal your wounded solar plexus chakra, your blocked solar plexus chakra, because it's literally the pathway, it's the gateway, it's the bridge that's going to unblock everything else. That's why we do it. We don't do it like, okay, if I will do it, then when will I get those things and how will it happen? In fact, it's there to remove the how. How will it happen? People who are really in the 3D reality, or people who are very much big on the ego side, these are the people, they are mentally always thinking, how will I do it? How will I do it? So they're putting in all of their energy in how will it happen? And if you tell them all these things that I'm just talking about, they'll go mad. They'll lose their minds. They'll say, are you crazy? Are you telling me that I should just let it all go? I should just surrender? Yeah, you should just surrender and do your work. Do what you love. Be yourself. You don't have to stay up all night. You don't have to go crazy mental. You don't have to worry or stress yourself out. You just have to be. And that's the most difficult thing to do for a lot of people. So when we are doing, we are not really being. And you may have heard it somewhere else also, but when we are worried, when we are stressed out, when we are really unhappy, this is also a very good place to be, because if you are practicing awareness, especially the moment you are worried, stressed, low, you're upset, you're away from God. Because when you're close to God, you're peaceful. You're not stressed out. You're not worried. So if you're worried also, if you're stressed out also, you should use it for your benefit. You should use it to look for the core memory or for the trigger. What is making me feel this way? All right. So, yeah, this is where I'm going to close this collective reading. For personal sessions, for intuitive reading sessions, tarot reading, for twin flames, you can check out the description box. For therapies, there's a list of therapies given in the description box. All therapies need to be, all the courses need to be booked in advance. And the readings, you have to book it from PayPal if you're from any other part of the world. But if you're from India, then you have to write to me at the sunamoon@gmail.com to get the details so that I can give you the number or whatever you need so that you can book the session. But for anybody else, the PayPal link works perfectly. And for Indians, I just want to say, Indians, this is for everyone actually, that kindly do not share anything in advance with me, because maximum times I get these mails from Indian people only. I don't know why this is strange. I noticed it. Uh, and then they also tell me, when I tell them that I say this in every video, that this is how it's supposed to be done, they always tell me that, oh, I did not notice it, I did not hear it, I did not realize that you were saying it. And I always say it. First thing I say is, don't share everything with me. You share simple things, that I'm so and so and I want to connect with you, or I have booked a reading with you. So when can we schedule it? And I'll give you a process to do. You do that process and immediately you get the session. But they skip on it. They'll tell me, I've received like the whole story. I've received like long mails. And sometimes they're too secretive. Sometimes it's like they're not saying anything at all. Even when I'm having a conversation, I'm trying to ask, like, who are you? What do you want? They're not even giving me the basics, like, I'm so and so and I'm from this part of the world. So I'm saying this again for everyone actually, that for readings, kindly do not share anything with me. But for therapy is different. Therapy is like going really deep into it. And you have to be ready for therapy. If you're not ready for therapy, then let it be. Let it be. Do your own inner work, do your own healing. So, yeah, training ground. Dating is a training ground for you, and it's been given to you so that you can come in your actual form. You can operate from your signature frequency. You can be honest, you're already honest, a lot of you, but you have to be desire free and you have to become fearless. Fearlessness. See you in the next one. One love. Peace out and Victory Duram. So, EXO.